Hey everyone, this is Ultra Runner. Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm actually going to do a quick collection tour. I'm going to start with my office and then move to, I think I'll do a separate video for the Transformers collection, which is upstairs. But I've been trying to do this for a while, do an updated one. And I finally got most of the stuff I needed in here and some stuff moved around. So I'm just gonna take a quick pan and show you guys the office area. So this is actually where I work from home. So I've got my work desk in here. I've got a big chair and a half with an ottoman. So like usually my kids or my wife will come in here and sit down and hang out. And or if I have a guest over, and then this is the work area here. And then pan around. This is where I have my spin bike, which will be leaving and going to a different area. I'm actually going to put like another chair there, or maybe like a love seat there, just so when people come over or the kids come in, more people can hang out here, because this is a pretty large room. I think it's like 14 by 14. And so it was like an extra bedroom. And so we just converted to my office when I started working from home. And my collection is not in an area like a lot of people's collection are, where it's like a room dedicated for it and it's all glassed in, and we'll get into that in a bit. But I just wanted to start here, kind of give you guys a zoomed out look, and then we'll just kind of go into some of the details. Some of the stuff has changed, some of it hasn't changed, but we'll just start here. I'll start with the desk and then work my way around. So same monitor setup. That'll actually change hopefully in about a week. I've got a new monitor widescreen coming in. I'm going to be building a PC, so that'll change up a little bit. Same chair I've had it for now, I guess almost 2 years. Because did I get this Father's Day 2 years ago? I think it's what it was. But yeah, that's the Herman Miller Embodied Gaming Edition. Love this seat. I mean, if you sit on your butt for a while at work, I do, me being a little bit older, I do have a little bit of back issues from running and training and things like that, and I can tell you what, I have not had a single issue with this chair. I love it to death. There's a lot of other chairs out there, but this is the one I went with, and I love it. My desk is just it's an Amazon desk I bought. It's an Annalise. It's pretty big. It's like 62 by 30 by 36 by 32, something like that. It's a fairly large desk. I don't really use a mouse pad or anything like that. I like my desk to be relatively clean. I've got the Logitech G. Just like the chairs, the Logitech G as well. So all my gear is Logitech G, just because I like it. Not that I'm sponsored by them or got anything from free. I pay for everything I have in here. I don't have any partnerships, but I do have the keyboard, mouse, microphone, speaker still hadn't changed. So on my desk, I like to keep it pretty simple, pretty clean. I usually have my coffee cup and my water cup. And then right now, I've got my, probably my favorite, this is probably my favorite figure in my collection, which is my Boba Fett, because this is my favorite look for Boba Fett. This is the Book of Boba Fett version from Hot Toys, obviously. And on my desk, I also have my favorite bad guy, which is Kid Buu, and then my favorite Disney character, which is Stitch. This is an Artgerm coin. This is from Standing Loud Artgerm. This is his character, Ghost Pepper, and so he made these really cool metal coins for him. And so I picked one of those up, and that's just still on my desk. I just kind of play with it while I'm on calls. And then on the right side of my desk is the newly received, because it's not newly released, I guess relatively new release, Missing Link Ultra Magnus. Love that guy. He is right now a placeholder in that spot until my Let Customs Fan Toys Ultra Magnus is done, cell shaded painting. And then when that's done, it'll be on my desk, and that'll be the two guys I have, because my desk is split between Ultra Magnus and Boba Fett, which are my two favorite characters. And as you see here, right above my desk, a little acrylic shelf. So all my shelves are acrylic, and I'll show you that when I go through, because I didn't want to trap any light anywhere. I wanted the light to kind of pass through and not cast any shadows. And it works really well, actually. And so you'll see as you go through the room, it stays pretty bright, and it's not very heavy at all. It's have a lot of black frames, but this is, like I said, this hasn't really changed. That's the Tamashi movie realization Book of Boba Fett, Daimyo, just a little static Boba Fett, Return of the Jedi character. This is the vintage collecting, Hasbro vintage collection. Boba Fett, that's the Cos Baby. Book of Boba Fett, again, that's my favorite suit. So you'll see that I have several versions of that suit. And that wasn't his most, badass version, but aesthetic wise, I think this is his cleanest look, absolutely. So like, I do have a lot of that suit around here. Diecast Slave 1, Lego Minifig, Funko Ultra Magnus, Dr. Wu, Ultra Magnus that does transform, a static Ultra Magnus in classic colors, the Super 7 Reaction Ultra Magnus, and then this is the Magic Square. Yeah, that's the Magic Square Ultra Magnus. It just came out recently. And then on the wall here, like I say, this has changed a little bit. I actually added another couple of double stack those frames to give it a little bit more fullness. And then here I've got and most of the artwork, these are comic book covers, and most of my comic books are virgin, and all that means is that there's no writing on the actual cover for you guys who are not big comic book fans. Some of the old comic books like this, they didn't have an option for virgin, so they only come in one way. But for everything else, I do have the virgins up for most of them. These are the Storm Collectibles, Ken the Eagle and Juna Swan. It's the only two they made. Storm is not really good about finishing lines, so I was hoping they finish those, but until they do, I guess that's just not a thing. Like I say, this is normal comic book stuff. I say it's had up here before. The Battle of the Planets, that's actually a pretty old book. That is from 1979. Yes, 1979. So that's actually oldest comic book, and that is the original print. Oldest comic book I've had in here. That poster is from the Japanese ad I showed you guys for, what was it for? The advertising the 13-part laser disc, which is why it says disc 1 through 13 there. So, and I actually have one of the laser discs. I'm gonna end up framing it and putting it up, but it's pretty cool. This is the original 1986 comic book for the 3-part series for Transformers the movie. Again, just other comic books. Most of the stuff has been up here before. This is official Takara Ultra Magnus, official Takara Delta Magnets, and then a couple of let me get a better angle. Comic books here. That's Artgerm as well. Power Princess, Artgerm with a custom remark from Absolute Wonder Woman, Absolute Batman with a custom remark from Giang, and then this is Absolute Superman, which I love that trio. And this is signed by Jason Aaron, who actually wrote this, Tyler Kirkham, who drew it, and then my favorite version of Superman, which is Tom Welling. He signed it as well. So yeah, I'm a big Christopher Reeve fan too, but Tom Welling is like really the guy. I'd probably say he's my second favorite. He's also my favorite that's alive, and then Cavill. And then that's just graded comic book. That's the only one I have. I am going to get another book graded, which I'll show you guys in a bit. Actually, you know what? I don't think I have that now. I'll have to wait until I finish it up and get it signed and stuff. A few 12 scale figures. Nothing super crazy here. Some of the stuff hadn't changed. The only thing I added was the Pink Ranger, and that is Super 7. So this wall here hasn't changed much, other than the fact that I did change out the comic books here. So I moved the absolute ones, and then this is the 86 Catwoman, which is like a Lake Como, Italy art gallery. It was like an art convention exclusive, and then this is by Artgerm, and this is actually the Poison Ivy number 43, which is one of the most dynamic covers I've ever seen, which is why I have those up here. And they're both, neither one of those are virgin, but I just really like the artwork so well, and that's by Giang. BVS, you guys know how I feel about BVS, and you'll see that when we get into the collection a little bit. 86 Transformers, my favorite movie of all time, hands down, no stops. Ghost in the Shell, what really introduced me to anime, which made me the anime fan I would say I am today. And then this is the original comic books. from the series. It was 8, and that's 1 and 8 up there. So I'm gonna pan over here, give you guys kind of a wide shot of the collection wall. So this is where all the Hot Toys are. So I only have Hot Toys in this room. I have my Transformers in a different area. So we'll go through those real quick, kind of show you guys that and give you a little bit of details on that piece there. So starting with the comics, like I say, these are all Artgerm. So this whole wall is all Artgerm. Love Power Girl. So I've got those signed as well. Just gonna go through this. This is actually recently Famke Janssen, who played X-Men, who played Jean Grey in the Fox version of X-Men. I had her sign this book by Artgerm, as well as the Mafex unopened brand new Phoenix as well. So it's, you know, it's the matching, and back out a little bit, it's the matching uniforms or matching outfits. So it's kind of cool. And like I say, just kind of pan through here. Psylocke is definitely my favorite. She's my favorite Marvel superhero. And then so I've got, you know, a bunch of different versions of her by Artgerm. And then we've got comic books here. This will probably change up. I think I'm going to end up moving these because I have the Rogue underneath the Rogue, and, you know, from X-Men 97 and the Mafex Rogue. But I think I'm going to end up changing this here. These are all signed. Like I said, I'll do a more detailed version of the artwork in a separate video. But starting here dead center, this is the first Hot Toys I ever picked up in 2023, Christmas 2023. Did not know it was going to start a collecting process until I did it. But Cap is my favorite superhero, period. You know, my two favorite fictional characters are Boba Fett and Captain America. So I've got Cap here. I love Chris Evans' version of it. So I do have the several versions of him. So that's the 2012 Cap with a custom lighted scepter. That was from Fusion Reactors. And this is the new Stealth Suit Cap, which is not as great as it should be. Sitting next to, in my opinion, the best cap, which is the concept art cap with the in-game head sculpt. Love this, love the proportions, and the guy just looks amazing, especially with that head sculpt. And then this is the in-game Cap himself. And rounding out, of course, my first ever Hot Toy, which is the Sam Wilson Cap. Just kind of got him floating there. And this shelving is actually, I didn't really talk about it. All the lighting I added to it, I bought the shelf from Amazon because I didn't want anything glass, I didn't want anything sealed in. I want my collection to live with me, not me live with my collection. So I don't have a lot of, I wasn't interested in doing detofs or doing any of the other large cases like that. I wanted something that was going to be my own. Yeah, like the modular space cases, I mean, they look good if you like that museum kind of look, but for me, that's not my style. So I wanted something realistic that I can move around pretty easily as far as the grabbing stuff off the shelf. And when people come to visit me, a lot of times we'll just grab a figure and I'll just kind of show them how it is, because at the end of the day, these are just toys. You know, the way I have the lighting installed, which I did all myself, and I have them in different areas, so you cast lighting in different places. So you get kind of a dramatic, moody look since all the lighting is offset. If you look at the silver one here, that silver bar, that's the light offset to one side. And you also have vertical light offset. So when at night, when they're in here, they cast shadows on their faces. Some things are revealed, some things aren't. So it just makes it super cool. Like I said, it's my own. It's not anything that anybody else has done. I just kind of started playing with it and figured out what I like. So going on over here to the top shelf is all Clone Wars. That is probably my favorite media of all time. I know I'm a big Star Wars fan, but love the Clone Wars. And so you've got Ahsoka with her 332nd. And so I've got these guys in some action pose. Got a Captain Vaughn there, point leading the battle. You've got a 332nd here with a rocket running into battle, kind of like they did on Nambara. That was kind of like the pose I got. You've got one with the minigun, and you've got Rex here with his. This is actually the Dooku. Was so funny. I actually bought this well before I bought Jesse, which Jesse actually comes with this, but I actually bought this one on eBay. But that's the Sidious hologram that came with Dooku, and this is when he in episode. what is this? The second to last episode of season 7. We know when he basically got the Order 66. So I think it's called Shattered. Yeah, I think that one's called Shattered. And so that's just such a pivotal moment for him, because it shows that even at the good of bond he had, the programming took over, but for a little bit he was able to hold off, and I just think that was such a great look. And of course the way the light is cast on his face is a really cool shadow. You've got Ahsoka here, season 7, and this is with future actors' lightsabers, and of course they're just super bright and luminous. Like here at night they're super crazy, so I really like them. You got, this hasn't changed, my BVS shelf. I do have the BVS Batman and Wonder Woman from InArt on order, along with the Christopher Reeve 2-pack. So that'll be on this shelf. It's kind of like here, 3 in the front, 2 in the back, and that is a custom flickering kryptonite stick by Fusion Reactors. Down here I've got my Ahsoka shelf, and this is just, and she's my favorite lights out user. Not really my favorite. I always say she's my favorite Jedi, but I guess she was my favorite Jedi, but she really wasn't a Jedi that long, because she wasn't my favorite when she was a Jedi. She was my favorite in season 7 when she basically stopped being a Jedi. So I guess a light side user. And so I've got a couple here, and I've got some demos coming for that shelf later on. This is my Marvel shelf, which is about to lose Hawkeye because I've sold out most of my stuff, and I'm gonna have a video talking about that, about collecting what you really love as opposed to collecting what you think you need to build out a display. And I'm in the mindset now, it's really, I just want to have what I love, and this is what I love. Now this is my Mandalorian shelf, with the reason I actually collect Hot Toys, which is your boy Savage here. So I've got a couple Mandalorians in different poses. One shielded up rifle back. I've got a Death Watch Mandalorian, because as you guys know, the Death Watch Mandalorians were the guys that became the Mandalorians. And this guy here, rifle in one hand, pistol up, ready to go. And Maul, flexing a darksaber with a little side eye, and his lightsaber one only blade out, and your boy Savage just standing there looking like the beast hoss he is. Then I've got, of course, my favorite new media. This is Jinx and Vi, sisters from Arcane League of Legends, which is Netflix. I've got her just kind of standing a little sassy with fish bones on her back. And then Vi, I just changed her pose up just like literally last night. And she's kind of looking off to the side with that finger up like, come and get it, bro. So, great figures, absolutely stellar. This is a recently updated shelf, so I didn't have any. I think I just picked all these up within the last probably month. So 5 literally just came from Sideshow yesterday. I bought him brand new, just because I had a bunch of points and a couple discount codes, so I got him for under $200, so it wasn't bad. Got Jesse, who I bought off one of the Facebook groups, guy out of New York. I mean, it was great. I mean, it looks really good. He's sitting there. So 5's just posed kind of like in an attack position, get ready to get off. You've got Jesse in the back here, and he's got he's talking to one of the lats, with the hologram. You've got Heavy here. I've got, and this is the heavy clone trooper that came with the Bark Speeder. And so I have him in place of Heavy, which is spelled H-E-V-Y, not H-E-A-V-Y. And if you guys are familiar with the Clone Wars, Season 1, Episode 4, which is where you really kind of start to really know who Echo and Fives are. And of course, this is Echo here. And so I've got these guys posed up that way, but posed together. But so Heavy dies, and so I wanted a version of him if he would have made it through and lived and went into ARC Trooper training. I'm sure he would have been a little bit different, and his favorite thing was that minigun that he found in the closet or in the armory. And so I've got him posed up with the large blaster rifle and then that minigun. And this is like my version of that trio, which those guys were all the 3 guys that hung out until the very end. And then Jesse soon joined those guys, and it ended up being the 4 of them, and then Fixer and Kix. Kix. And so But yeah, so I really wanted to have my top row, and I'll back out here, just show what I really love. And I really love Clone Wars, and absolutely. So, got those guys there. And the fifth place, I'm still debating if I'm going to buy the second Bark Speeder so I can get Oppo. Haven't decided yet, but we'll see how it goes. This shelf here, this is my Snyderverse shelf. I guess technically I really just like Snyderverse. I wasn't a fan of the James Gunn look for Superman or the style of the movie. Just not my deal. Big Snyderverse fan. So as more stuff comes out, InArt's teased their black suit Superman, and I'm hoping to get a technical suit Batman, which is my favorite look for Batman, period. And then hopefully they'll do another woman in a brighter suit, and I'll have her on here. But right now, what's going to go here is going to be Harley Quinn from Hot Toys, the artisan I do have coming in, and she will be right next to her signed Paul Dini and Artgerm print. Down here, I've got the Dark Empire Luke. I've got him with both blades and kind of a hunched dual blade reverse grip and forward grip look with both sabers, looking pretty cool. The dual in effect Vader, which I really love. And it's so funny, after the Maul Shadow Lord, there's a couple scenes where he's got red and the background's kind of blue, and he has this look to him, and I was kind of like, oh man, that's pretty neat. And this is the Star Wars Celebration Artisan Darth Vader Set Apprentice, which I did get from somebody who went there, and that's the little display that came with them. And then down here is my little head canon for Boba Fett if he didn't get written off the show or written out of the show, like, soft like he was. Basically became the daimyo but actual ruthless ruler. And I've got two of the Chrome Commander Codys back here that I'm using as like special guards. Like, he basically found those costumes, and I need to fix that wire and realize the wire's hanging. Like, he found those two costumes, two outfits, and had them chromed up, and he's got his own special guard, kind of like everybody has their own special guard. And then we got Fennec Shand here, looking like the badass she is, and then Cobb Vanth, and he's got his own replica Boba Fett's armor, and he's got his foot on his helmet, and his hand on his pistol, ready for somebody to walk in and talk some crap. So he can show you how quick a draw he is. This back wall here goes just pretty quick. Like I say again, this is all my Clone Wars section, so it's got some artists here that I really like. Then this has got Return of the Jedi, Empire Strikes Back Boba, along with the Empire Strikes Back Mayfix Boba. You've got the Clone Wars poster here from the movie, which, this right here is super controversial, but we won't go there. Some Black Series elements, and I'm hoping we'll get a arena suit Boba Fett so I can retire this recovery, because the recovery armor is cool, but it's my least favorite of everyone. This is my favorite of the live action movies, Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, if you know, you know. And then this is the Star Wars poster. This is a replica of the 1977 poster. And of course, as you all know, Star Wars for New Hope, it was just Star Wars when it first came out. So people who are old enough like me to have seen this in theater when it came out, it was never New Hope until they move on. And then I've got a signed print here by Jeremy Bullock. Super cool, from Return of the Jedi, along with the Return of the Jedi Mayfix. And this is Boba's Corner. So I call it Boba's Corner because this is where I have my Boba Fett's. And so this is the quarter scale Hot Toys with the diorama. This is the Tython Boba 2-pack with the Tusken Boba as well. We got those guys kind of posed up, kind of neat. And then down here is where I have my Jeremy Bullock Boba Fett's. So this has got the Kenner Vintage, the arena suit, which I'm hoping, like I say, Black Series makes a helmet for. And this is the Empire Strikes Back Deluxe with the Proto Boba head. And I'm hoping for our pre-production helmet. And I'm hoping for Hot Toys to go ahead and make the prototype boba in white, and then once I get that and a Return of the Jedi boba, this section will be done. Because honestly, for this area here, I can't really see myself getting anything else to change anything up. Because this is pretty much it. Like I said, this corner here with boba. And let me see if I can close the blinds to make it a little bit easier for you guys to see this. Okay, yeah, close the blinds. Now I do have my blinds open all day long because I am into sunlight and I don't care about what it does to some of these toys. So the ones here by the window don't get direct sunlight, but they do get indirect sunlight. And I've had a couple people ask and tell me that I should move those because they can get damaged. But honestly, they're not. These aren't super expensive. And like I said, my collection is to live with me, not for me to live with it. So I don't make any special accommodations for my collection. So, oh, and I forgot up top here, got this a little plaque my wife gave me for my office when I first moved in here. And then I forgot the guys. These are my Build-A-Bears. I've had these are gifts for my kids. I've had these for a long time now. Phantom Menace Maul and Boba Fett. But yeah, so like I said, this is the collection here. This is for where I spend most of my time. Let me just spread it out here. Get a little bit zoom out, kind of see what it looks like here, panning out. But yeah, like I say, most of my collection is, I see an in game for my Hot Toys at least. I mean, I've got 6 on order right now. I'm actually gonna make a video about that kind of in gaming, how collecting is going to be for me, you know, over the next few years and what I'll be looking at. Because I'm sure I'll keep buying collectibles as some of the ones to replace some of the ones we have that need better versions. So if they drop a new Captain America in game that has moving eyes and better likeness, yeah, I'll replace them. Diecast, you know, Mjolnir. Or something like that, diecast shield, whatever the case may be. I mean, we know like this one here with the magnetic shields, you know, I'm sure they're going to keep improving that tech, you know, so at some point I'm hoping we'll get a true animation accurate version of the Clone Wars figures, because I would actually double dip on those guys if I needed to. But for the most part, you know, I've got one possible figure coming here. I've got a spot for one here. I've got a spot for 2 here, but one's already paid for and ready to go, and one's on pre-order. And then down there is a bunch of Marvel stuff I'm hoping to have come through pretty soon. But like this shelf down here with Boba Fett, that is done and done. So, you know, this shelf here with the Mandalorians, the only thing I was hoping that would change this shelf out would be if they made a Rook cast from Maul Shadow Lord. But you know, if you hadn't seen it, I don't think they're going to make one of her, which kind of sucks because she would have went perfect there, because I was looking for like a commander kind of captain person there, and that's what I'm using as the Death Watch Mandalorian for, because I do like the hint of blue. But if they dropped Rook cast, I would definitely get Rook cast in a heartbeat, wouldn't even think twice about it. But yeah, so just kind of one last, just kind of looked at everything here. I'd say it's the Clone Wars. That's will be the future BBS and Reeve, Ahsoka. That'll be where Marvel goes. Like I said, I do have the Wolverine pool coming in, and the Age of Ultron Thor's on pre-order. So I do have some of that. This shelf here is just Arcane right now. I'm really hoping they make more, because I love this show and I love these figures. This is Hot Toys at their absolute best. I mean, absolute best, guys. They just crush these figures 100%. And so I'm hoping we get more different looks for Jinx and Vi, because I'm pretty sure they're not going to make other figures. They may just reuse these bodies for them, for maybe giving us a Vi with black hair, or maybe early on or season 2 when she gets out of prison and has the red hoodie on. You know, maybe they'll give us a season 2 Jinx, but that's really, if they don't do that, then this is going to be an animation shelf, so I'll probably add 3 more figures there that are from an animation only. I did order Sabine, but I ended up canceling it with the Rebels look, because Rebels is good, but I don't really like Rebels like that. So I'm like, I'm not going to spend any money on something I really don't love. And everything I have now, I love. I love my clones, my 501st guys. My favorite color is blue. And, you know, the story with, with season 1, episode 5. And if you watch that and then watch, was it season 4, the Umbara arc, those 4 episodes with Pon Krell, like, if you watch those and don't like Clone Wars after that, then I would say you truly just don't like it. And you're not gonna, nothing's gonna make you like it more than those episodes, because those episodes really gave you who Echo and Fives are, as well as Jesse. And when you get to the end of the series and how those guys move throughout, you just kind of really, you see how this was how George made this buildup of Clone Wars, made Revenge of the Sith even sadder. You know, and I think that's just some of the brilliance of George Lucas, and I love the way he did this. And I know season 7 was Disney, but Disney killed season 7. I'm not gonna lie. You know, they definitely did a great job with it. So, and Disney animation through Lucasfilm always hits. So, but yeah, so this is the Office Collection Hot Toys 6 scale and InArt, and a little bit of other stuff there too. A little bit of Masterpiece Transformers, things like that. Let me know what you guys think. Comment down below if you have any questions or comments, you know, about what you see. Any questions about any of the figures. I'm a big posing person, so I do have a lot of posing. A few like Bobas, some of the Bobas and some of the Captain Americas are static, just kind of like regular museum pose. But as you guys see, I like dynamic poses. I like to have these figures doing stuff because they're action figures and, you know, telling a story. You know, like my favorite pose of probably everybody I have down here is just Ahsoka here. You know, the way she's standing with the hand over hand with the blade. I actually got that from the Cloud statue, the Prime 1 Cloud statue. And so, but yeah, and I just experiment with stuff like that. I love this stuff. So, but yeah, comment down below. If you guys made it to the end of the video, I really appreciate it. And I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for hanging out. Peace.